Me got baby face, me big boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water, make Gulf US survey. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face. Me got baby face, me got big share. Trump bad, Trump good, me no care. Me write big book, kill billies and stuff. Now me important, we're tired tough. Me go Yale school, me learn big word. Now me forget everything me heard. Silicon people give me job, me take. Now me like Trump, me make no mistake. Yo, it's JD Advance. Fight, walk, folk, me say never die. Me protect kids, me born liberal. Him, them, there. America simple, only two gender. Me face, me big boss man. Me like America, me got good plan. Mexico water, make Gulf US survey. Me make Zelensky say thanks to my face. Too many gender for my agenda. Went on a bender, execo the sender. Might take Panama just like na. Might take Gaza, pop then a plaza. With this my majesty.
What's going on, everyone? Welcome into CobraCast 199. I am your host, Jeremy Prime, Mage IDOT of Unit 199. I got to say, I'm very confused right now because my StreamYard says I am not live. Like, it legit says for me to go live. It's telling me I'm late, yet I see that the stream is up. So I am completely confused right now. We're live on Kick. We're live on YouTube. I have no idea. So I am super confused right now. So I'm going to hit go live. I don't know if it's going to end. I don't know what to do. I have no idea what to do right now. I feel like I'm living in like a weird dimension right now. So I'm going to hit go live. And it may end the stream. And I wish I could. Can I share my screen? Let's see. Hang on. Share this screen. Can I share StreamYards so you can see what I'm looking at? For some reason, I can't share entire screen. Does that work? Okay, you see that? So you see how it says go live? And it says scheduled. Look at that. It says the stream is scheduled and it says to go live, but I'm already live. I have no idea what's going on right now. So I'm going to hit go live and we'll see what happens. So if the stream ends, I'll start another one. Wait, do I have maybe another link? All right, hold on. Before we do this, do I have another link? Let me go into my StreamYards and see. Even StreamYards says that it's scheduled. It doesn't say that I'm live. This is the craziest shit I've ever seen. This makes no sense. So I guess we're just going to try to see. We are fucked tonight. So for the 1,000 people that are already here, I'm going to hit go live and we'll see what happens. I don't know if it's going to start 2 streams. I have no idea. I've never seen this. Here we go. Are we still live? Because now it says we're live. Did it end? I don't understand what's happening right now. Half of you are telling me we ended the stream. The other half are telling me we're still live. I have no idea. I don't know what's going on. I guess we're still live. This is crazy, bro. What is happening right now? Maybe we're live. The only way I can confirm if we're live is if we get $100 super chat. That's the only way I can confirm. I didn't make the rules, by the way. Those are just the rules. So if we get $100 super chat, I can confirm we're live. But that's the weirdest thing I've ever seen. So anyway, hello everyone. Welcome to CobraCast 199, a very strange episode of CobraCast. But we did get Kate for a 20 and says, "Hey vets, thanks for the day off. Just kidding." She says, "Thanks for your service." So there you have it right there. She said, "And for the day off." So there you go, Kate. Hail to you. Kate always asking for Sabaton. Jeremy runs light mode. No. Hold on. Normally I don't, but on my traveling setup, I do. I have no excuse. There's nothing I can do. I mean, it doesn't matter if I say anything. I've already been exposed. Yeah, I really judge people with light mode, and yet here I am running it. Damn, I got nothing. Stephen H for 10 says live. Thank you. Appreciate it. Monica says, "Do you lurk in the chat pre-show?" I do very often. Not all the time, but I do often. But this is from my Christmas cabin here in Florida. It is snowing. Sonic LP says, "This is for being 1 minute late." Soundwave Superior says, "Beardo's favorite food is candle salad." 199 Don 3PO of the ass tax, or the A55 tax. Mod Eric says, "You are not live. Time to call it a night. See ya." Done. Beckinator says, "This is the kind of quality the 199 expects." Pretty much. The Hazel Sword says, "My CobraCast Mania shirt showed up randomly, totally, or today, unannounced." At least you finally got it. I'm so sorry it took you guys so long. It's embarrassing. Chad Layton says, "Still live." Well, I guess I didn't end the stream. So Graham Robinson says, "Jeremy hit go live. And now I have a husband who said if I wanted a boot edge." What the F, Jeremy? Welcome to CobraCast. I don't know what's happening around here either, but there has been a lot going on today with one little Ben Shapiro, and we're going to talk about that. Mark Levin is making a fool of himself yet again. But Trump just said something that I think every single person in MAGA is going to disagree with. And we're going to cover that out of the gate. Now, this will be one of those times where I criticize Trump and say I disagree with him. And the people that don't watch me, they'll say, "Oh, he finally criticized Trump." Yeah, okay. Because I've never criticized Trump before. This will be the first time I've ever criticized Trump. But yeah, he just said something that there's just no way to justify this. There's just no way to justify this take right here. So Trump is doing an interview with Fox News, and he talks about the 600,000 Chinese students coming to the U.S. is a pro-MAGA stance. He says, "I know what MAGA wants better than anyone else." He says this is a pro-MAGA stance. No, it's not, Trump. No, it's not at all.
Folks are not thrilled about this idea of hundreds of thousands of foreign students in the United States. We have about 350,000 Chinese. One point during COVID, you were going to, push to, get them out, but that was pulled back. You've said as many as 600,000 Chinese students could come to the United States. Why, sir, is that a pro-MAGA position when so many American kids want to go to school and there are places not for them, and these universities are getting rich off Chinese money?
Sure. Never said about China, but we do have a lot of people coming in from China. We always have China and other countries. We also have a massive system of colleges and universities. And if we were to cut that in half, which perhaps makes some people happy, you would have half the colleges in the United States go out of business.
So what?
Yeah. So, and next, who cares? If they need 600,000 Chinese students to stay in business, then they don't need to be in business. You're not going to get any sympathy from MAGA on this one, Trump. Like, there ain't a single person in MAGA that is supportive of this. None.
Well, I think that's a big deal.
Are they fans
You would
of,
have the
fans of the United
historically,
States?
yeah, but you would have, as you know, historically, black colleges and universities would all be out of business. You would have a system of colleges and universities would
So
go
we're
down the
dependent on
tubes.
China to keep our
No, not
university
China,
system
but
going?
I think it's good.
I'm glad she's pressing him. This is a ridiculous take. This is a ridiculous, massive L from Trump. This is a monumental L.
I actually think it's good to have outside countries. Look, I want to be able to get along with the world.
They're not the French. They're the Chinese. They spy on us. They steal our intellectual property.
What, do you think the French are better?
Yeah.
I mean, really? I don't know. I'll tell you, I'm not so sure. We've had a lot of problems with the French, where we get taxed very unfairly on our technology, where, you know, they put 25% taxes on American products. Look, assuming everyone treats us badly, because that's the way I am, but we take in trillions of dollars from students. You know, the students pay more than double when they come in from most foreign countries. I want to see our school system thrive. But at the same time, I know you and I disagree. We're never going to agree on it, but that's okay. And it's not that I want them, but I view it as a business. We have millions and millions of people. Also, I want to get along with countries if possible. You know, people are shocked. Remember, Hillary Clinton said, we'll be in a war. I stopped 8 wars in the last 9 months. I don't want to be in wars. If I am in a war, we're going to win the thing fast, and it'll be violent. But you know what? I don't want to be in wars. But one thing, you don't want to cut half of the people, half of the students from all over the world that are coming into our country.
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. We absolutely do. We don't care. We've played nice for way too long, and see where it's gotten us. We do not care.
Destroy our entire university and college system. I don't want to do that.
I wouldn't lose any.
And don't forget, MAGA was my idea. MAGA was nobody else's idea. I know what MAGA wants better than anybody else. And MAGA wants to see our country thrive.
There is zero defense of this. Zero. There is no way to defend what he just said. None at all. There is just none. And that's fine. We disagree. Massive disagreement, though. Like, this isn't just, to me, this is not a minor thing. This is a pretty big deal. This isn't just like oh, well, Trump said this or something. Like, this is a big fucking deal. So this is a massive L in every way possible. And this is where you will finally see, like, how many of these people that are MAGA influencers that just want the Mar-a-Lago access and all of that. This is where you'll see them if they're like, yeah, you know what? Trump is right about it. No, he ain't right about this. This is an L. There is no defense of this whatsoever. You can still love Trump. You can still support Trump, as I do, but call balls and strikes. And that is a massive L. No defense. But yeah, so I wanted to go ahead and out of the gate because I saw that interview and I wanted to cover that. So that is a disaster from Trump. I don't even know what the hell he's thinking right there. We do have this right here. The Senate has officially passed the bill to end the government shutdown and is now sending it to the House of Representatives, which is expected to vote on it Wednesday night. The fact that these idiots can't get back to work, you know, the fact that it has to wait until Wednesday night is unbelievable. Yeah, you're welcome, Harley. Yeah, I figure I'd start out. I figure I'd start out with the, you know, depressing stuff right there. So, but here we go. We'll see how this whole thing plays out. We got a lot more to talk about than just that, though. They've actually never worked a day in their lives, says Jessica. We don't disagree. You're 100% right about that. I'm still trying to figure out what the hell happened with this live stream when I started it. That's the weirdest thing ever. Huh. I don't know. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Tucker Carlson said something pretty interesting that I just bookmarked. I don't know when this is from. I don't know when this is from. And I have not I just saw the headline. Tucker Carlson believes the U.S. government is working with demons. I don't know when this is from, though.
It's my personal belief, based on a fair amount of evidence, that they're not aliens. They've always been here. And I do think it's spiritual.
Can you articulate it?
The belief that supernatural beings take physical form. They all believe that. The Greek myths, Jesus, most famously. But that they take physical form, that they're not just like some ethereal, they're not just shadows floating around, specters, fog, that they're physical. Like they're as real as the arm of your chair. And that they reproduce with people. Again, Christianity believes that. Jesus, Immaculate Conception.
What's up with the music? I really can't stand when they take these edits and the music that's added to it, this TikTok bullshit of adding music.
Spirit reproduces with human woman. That's what the story is.
Yeah, no, I was on February 20th, 2023. I was attacked in my bed by a spiritual being.
Physically mauled. In a spiritual attack by a demon?
Yeah, by a demon.
And so I talked to a lot of people, and I was.
This is, I mean, listen, I'm sure that this is all edited together in the event with the attempt to make Tucker Carlson seem crazy. That with the music and the way that it's edited, all of it spliced together with not adding context. That's 100% what this edit is right here.
Really shocked by what credible people told me. The U.S. government has, in fact, had direct contact with these beings, whatever they are. I've already told you what I think they are, and has entered into some sort of agreement with them. They could all be wrong. Of course, I can't prove it.
Yeah.
But I became completely satisfied, I'll say that they were not lying and that they were right or in the vicinity of right.
I care about this country and what happened to it after 1945. And it's a very clear demarcation line, and it seems obvious to me that nuclear weapons are demonic. There's no upside to them at all, and that anyone who claims otherwise is either ignorant or doing the bidding of the forces that created nuclear technology in the first place, which are not human forces.
So I'm not, I do believe there are evil forces in the world, no doubt about that. In terms of like spiritual beings that are directly involved, I have no evidence of that. I've never, experienced anything like that. But I'm not completely, I'm not going to shut the idea down, but I've never experienced anything remotely close.
Obviously,
these phenomena, which are clearly, obviously real. I mean, there's no debate about that. There's a lot of shit that people can't explain in the sky and underwater. We know that. Fact. So the debate is this government technology? Is it from outer space, or is it some spiritual realm here?
I've never met a person who can isolate the moment where nuclear technology became known to man. And so where did it come from exactly? Oh, German scientists in the 30s. Really, when? Name the date. And I've never heard anybody do that. It's very clear to me that these are demonic.
And so people with this weird and destructive instinct, that's what it is. It's not a conspiracy, an instinct, have taken over all the levers of power. And I think it's like a spiritual force. That's my personal view. I can't prove it, but I really believe it.
Our leadership is the worst. Yeah, they're the worst. They're like the worst people I've ever met. Mm. And maybe that's not accidental.
Yeah, I mean, could it be, I'll just raise the question, could it be that some people have received some assistance from demonic
certainly seems that way
in terms of achieving what they've achieved?
How many happy political...
I think that, I'm just speaking as a random retard on the internet here, but if you actually get out and about and you experience things in this country, as I have, there's a lot of wonderful things in this country, man. There's a lot of bad stuff too, but there's a lot of amazing stuff in this country. And I've never been to a lot of these other places around the world, but I have talked to people that have been to other places, and it's straight up just hell on earth in a lot of these other places. Hell on earth in these third world countries and things like that. And we often get caught up in the social media stuff that warps our view of the real world. But it's like, if you actually just take some time away, if you put your phone away for a little while, and I would never encourage anyone on my channel to do that, because that's how I make my living, being sarcastic right there. But I'm just, I'm acknowledging the elephant in the room, that if people take my advice, I might not have a job. But the reality of it is like, if you do put your phone down and zone out of the social media world, there's a lot of amazing things to experience and a lot of amazing moments. But then you get back on your phone and start doom scrolling, and you forget about all that. And you see all the bad shit that's happening, Harley says, Jeremy says I need to go away. No, not at all. Not at all. But also the internet's awesome too. My point being is that I think that there's some perspective lost in a lot of what, these clips that are out of context, by the way, that has to be, noted. These are all out of context. It doesn't mean the clips are the clips, but, Tucker likes to talk about a lot of crazy stuff. I like Tucker. I disagree with Tucker on certain things, but the way that this is edited together, I'm very much suspicious of whoever this person is. I think I've seen him before. I feel like he had a hate boner for Andrew Tate for a long time. Now he's got Candace Owens in his profile. So it is what it is. So seems that there is a definite, watching how it's edited, there's definitely a clear bias that this guy is trying to build. So let's see where we're at here. TJ Cynic says a D-Dayception on YouTube. Lord Voldemort says you're still live. Eric says mixed up and went live on OnlyFigs again. Jason J says 600,000 Chinese people is what MAGA wants. Yeah, that's according to Trump. Crazy Clown Town says a happy 250th birthday to the Devil Dogs. Yep, we talked about that earlier. And again, we'll have no problem repeating that here. John Wayne says, I've seen many simultaneous double streams today. I mean, yeah, it could just be glitching out, for all I know. Brian Doyle says, grifting technical difficulties, respect. And I didn't even get it. I didn't even get the $100. I've lost my touch. I have failed. It's over. I'm done. I didn't even get the $100. That's how pathetic. I have fallen off. Bebop sent me $90 less than what he normally does. I'm done. It's over. Little Jim Taylor says, why should we allow our main enemy in is a stupid idea. Agreed. Spartan says, Jeremy is almost there, guys. Almost. Benjamin says, Trump, as a public servant of the people, have you consulted with us about this? No, he hasn't. And he said as much. Mike Noss says, don't know if you covered it in a previous stream, but you should see the World War II vet who said it wasn't worth it. I think I saw something in reference to that the other day, but I have not covered it on a stream. Hector says his reason for saving universities aside and his poor justification of it, what do you see wrong with it? It's not America first. And the Chinese government has clearly sent spies over here to spy on us. They have ripped off our IPs. There's a laundry list of reasons why that's not a good idea to just bring 600,000 Chinese students in when we already have a massive illegal immigrant problem in this country. There's a laundry list of things that are wrong with it. And it just goes fundamentally against the messaging of MAGA completely. I think it's like, go back to what Trump's words. Remember when Trump said that, remember when he said to Canada, he says, if Canada can't exist without ripping off the United States of America, maybe it shouldn't be its own country. Remember when he said that directly to Justin Trudeau? If Canada can't exist without ripping off the United States of America, maybe you shouldn't be a country. Well, if a university in the United States of America can't exist without having 600,000 Chinese students, then maybe you don't need to be a fucking university in the United States of America. It is not complicated at all. That's not complicated. EBT tax for $1. Thank you. Vault 95 says Jeremy brought back gaming. Next, bragging rights. You kind of get bragging rights on Tuesday night. You kind of do. Too Tired says, the music got me wondering, you ever seen any Squatch in Alabama? Seems the right topic with the music. No, I haven't. The Good Wise says, what if the Chinese students are massage agents? I am not going to comment on that. Solar Felix says, the music sounded like the music in They Live. Let's see. The Artful Bird says, I changed my name. Hopefully it doesn't confuse you. I know who you are, Artful Brittany, right? Here's my monthly lurker rent. Safe travels, and I hope you're enjoying the winter cabin. Yeah, my Christmas cabin. It's great here in Florida. I'm loving every single bit of it. Eric K says, disagree with welcoming the Syrian leader, a terrorist with a $10 million bounty on his head. He has killed thousands. Christians are being beheaded in Syria, and young girls sold into sex slavery. I mean, Trump's going to have to make good relations with world leaders, regardless of how corrupt they are. I can understand the logic there by making, building a rapport. But I can understand that logic far more than I can understand bringing 600,000 Chinese students. I see a massive difference on that, but it's not to say that I agree with it, but I at least understand it. Hotfart OG says, do any of these Chinese students play SEC football? If not, send them back. That's my logic right there. That's my logic. Okay, so let's get into this story right here. So as I've been talking about, Mark Levin and Ben Shapiro are just absolutely unhinged at this point. These guys have lost their minds. And they're just making things worse every single day. And Mark Levin uploads this, or I guess this was on Fox News right here. And Mark Levin suggests Tucker Carlson belongs in a mental institution as he accuses Carlson of being a fascistic neo-Nazi radical right. So just listen to what this unhinged lunatic has to say. And he and Ben Shapiro are playing identity politics just like the left.
Then we have on the fascistic, neo-Nazi, radical right. And by the way, I'm not talking about constitutional conservatives, not in the least. We're not on the radical right. We're right in the center. And I don't mean ideologically, I mean we're right in the center. We support the Constitution, the Declaration, the founding, and everything that was done to create this nation. How can we be right wing? Right wing of what? These people are not America first.
This isn't new. This is months ago. Well, even still, it still applies to what's going on now. But Colin Rugg just uploaded it. And he says new. It says new.
America first isn't evil over good. America first isn't tyranny over liberty. America first isn't sounding like the Marxist, Islamist, anti-American Jew haters. That's not American at all. That's not America first, second, or third. No, they're aiding and abetting people who want to destroy the country. They want to destroy the country. You have individuals in that ilk, in that cabal, who talk up Hitler, who platform people who talk up Hitler. You have individuals who talk up Stalin, who platform people.
So what? Let people talk. Again, when the left has weaponized those names so much to where they've been watered down to where no one actually cares, read the room. No one cares about you pearl clutching over names of people that some random podcaster says that they like. No one cares.
Who talk up Stalin. You have individuals who defend Hamas as a political movement, not a terrorist movement. How many people have been slaughtered, Americans, by the Islamists? The Islamists have killed more Americans, as Victor Davis Hanson so brilliantly pointed out in the Free Press, than any other entity since the end of World War II. Did you know that? When we were hit on 9/11, We took a bigger hit than we took at Pearl Harbor. Are you aware of that? There's a lot of young people who aren't. They're being brainwashed to the opposite. If Stalin had had his way, America wouldn't have even existed. But we're told, no, Eisenhower was wrong. We're told Churchill's the bad guy. Hitler's misunderstood. And these guys, they are desperate for normal, regular Americans.
The only reason that the people that you are upset about are getting more and more popular is because you spend every night on your Fox News television show crying about them and making people curious about them. Because we live in a world now where the left has weaponized all these things, and people don't just blindly listen to insults or labels anymore. Generally speaking, they just don't. When generally now what happens on the internet, because the internet is smarter than any individual that tries to be smarter than the internet's just going to outsmart you. The internet generally says, who is this person? Who is this person that you keep talking about? I want to hear how unhinged this person is. Do you know what that person on the internet does? They go and listen to that person and like, oh, wow, I like a lot of the things that this person is saying. Well, I don't necessarily agree with that, but I like a lot of this. You and Ben Shapiro are spending all day long promoting people you hate. And those people are getting more and more popular by the day. My goodness, how stupid are you?
To debate them. To debate what? They belong in a mental institution. The point is, I despise them because they're trying to use the cover of conservatism in the American flag.
Everything is relative. I've talked about this many times. Am I on the level of a Mark Levin? No, I don't have his money. I don't have his platform. I don't have his backing, and I never want it. So in terms of just sheer numbers, I don't have that platform as Mark Levin. Whatever, who cares? But everything is relative. So I have people that don't like me. And that's fine. That's the world we live in, okay? If I spent every single, and I learned this early on with YouTube, with when my following started growing, I would respond to the people that didn't like me. And what I was actually doing every time I would respond on Twitter or make videos about the people that hated me, what I was doing was I was connecting them with each other. So if I would quote tweet someone that hates me, someone else that hated me would see, oh, there's another person that hates Jeremy or hates Geeks and Gamers. And so they would then kind of start, grouping up. And the more I would retweet people that hated me, the more people they would kind of form these little groups and they would work together. And I realized I was like, dude, I guess it's not worth it to do this shit. Like, I'm not doing myself any favors by responding to these trolls. And so I eventually started to go, maybe I just shouldn't acknowledge these people because it doesn't help me. It's only helping them, and it's hurting me to respond to them. It's all relative. Mark Levin and Ben Shapiro have spent the last 5 years making Nick Fuentes more successful every single day. Every single day, they have spent every single hour making him more popular, and he is now more popular than he's ever been, and they're losing their minds over it.
To justify the unjustifiable. That is what we are facing right now in our country. The problem is these people, the neo-Nazi fascists on the extreme right, they're the weak underbelly of this republic. The other side, they know what they stand for. They're fighting. They're bringing people into the country who agree with them. They fight assimilation. They're trying to reach out to young people through Marxist propaganda, and we'll give you something for nothing. And they use Solinsky tactics. Rich people are bad. Get the Jews, get the Christians. The others, they want you to believe that you stand for them. Are you unhappy?
This is convincing no one. You are actively losing support and helping the people that you hate gain support. And I completely understand it. Who's going to watch Mark Levin talk about this and go, man, I really believe in this guy. This guy seems like someone that's got a good head on his shoulders. Nobody is watching this and is convinced that they should support you. You are an old man yelling at clouds. You are unhinged. You're a lunatic, and you're playing identity politics like a leftist. That's what you're doing.
Are you down on your luck? Aren't you sick and tired of what's going on? Well, join us. Join you to do what? We've seen their type before, Mr. and Mrs. America. We've seen it in Europe. We've seen it in Germany. We've seen it in the United States in the 1930s, although it wasn't this bad. In the 1930s. Look at it this way. What do you think the founders of your country would think of these people who claim that they represent the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence, that they represent the will of God, as pointed out in the...
Do you think this can get any worse? Do you think this can get any worse? Because guess what? It can get much worse. Oh, it gets much worse, ladies and gentlemen. Listen to this opening monologue from little Ben Shapiro. Hang on. Oh boy, I've been exposed. Levin is right. Jeremy doesn't know what he's talking about. He's scanning everyone. Hellraiser has exposed me, ladies and gentlemen. I am scanning all of you right now. You are all being scanned right now. 199 scan in. We are scanning all of you. Hail to the scan in 199. It's over. You are all scanned. Scan in. We brought back the scan in meme. Oh, man. But listen to this opening monologue from little Ben Shapiro and tell me this doesn't sound like a page right out of the Hollywood identity politics playbook.
Hey, folks, I want to do something different on today's show. We're going to cover one topic in depth. That topic is, I think, the most important thing happening in the country. It was a hot topic last week, but I wanted to take some time to really gather my thoughts and speak on it in coherent fashion, holistic fashion. That topic is the fragmentation of the political right. That fragmentation is being caused purposefully by a splinter faction of people led by a young man named Nick Fuentes. They call themselves the Groypers. They are white supremacists. They hate women, Jews, Hindus, many types of Christians, brown people of a wide variety of backgrounds, blacks, America's foreign policy, and America's Constitution. They admire Hitler and Stalin. And that splinter faction is now being facilitated and normalized within the mainstream Republican Party. The main agent in that normalization is Tucker Carlson, who is an intellectual coward, a dishonest interlocutor, and a terrible friend.
Jeremy, stick to Mario Kart. You're out of your league here. Do you know how happy it makes me that you motherfuckers are so triggered that I'm calling this out? Oh, I love it. I love triggering the pro-Israel side just as much as I like triggering the anti-Israel side. Because neither one of you losers will ever get me on your side. Yeah, I will continue to do just that. And what's funny is I've also heard people say I should stop playing video games and focus on politics. And then I have people say, well, you suck at video games. You need to talk politics. And then I talk politics like, you don't know politics. You should talk pop culture. Well, you don't know pop culture. You should go back to politics. Finally, can somebody just call it like it is? Maybe I just don't know shit about anything. Can we just call it like it is? Maybe I don't know anything about anything. Maybe I'm retarded when it comes to everything, but not as retarded as little Ben Shapiro.
And Tucker Carlson last week was aided, abetted, celebrated for normalizing Nazism within the Republican Party by the mainstay organization of the traditional right, the Heritage Foundation. Now, before we explain what's been happening, let's make one thing clear. This is not about free speech or cancellation. It was never about free speech or cancellation.
Finally, someone says it. All right. Dinus says, Jeremy, you're really good at being retarded. Stick to that. You know what? That is a 10 out of 10 comment right there. Respect to you.
Free speech has a definition: the right to speak free of governmental coercion. I believe in it, of course. I've always defended it. Criticism of bad speech is, in fact, just a form of free speech. Cancellation also has a definition: the banning of particular people, including people like Nick Fuentes, from platforms like X or Facebook. I believe that Nick Fuentes is odious and despicable, but I've never called for his cancellation. And in fact, I've called for his restoration to those services, despite.
Now, and the reason I wanted to play it to that point is I have to give Ben Shapiro credit for that. If he has always wanted, if he's always advocated for Fuentes to be on these platforms, I actually respect that. I absolutely do. It's his emotional response to all of this is what I clouded my judgment on that. But credit where credit is due to Ben Shapiro for that. Yeah, I mean, the identity politics opening that Ben had right there, not going to win anybody over. Not going to win a single person over when you open up like that. And it will continue as it has continued. And Ben's having a really rough time right now across the board. I saw this video right here. And thank you, Harley. Jeremy, stick to Mario Kart. You're out of your league here. I thought you were tapped out on super chats. Don't spend too much money, Harley, unless you can.
So y'all, Ben Shapiro is losing about 10,000 followers every week on YouTube. And if you're wondering why, first you can check out this clip from last week when he said this about Candace Owens.
You and I differ on our angle with regard to, for example, Candace Owens. I think that what Candace Owens is doing right now is evil. It is evil what she is doing right now. Okay, and I say that again.
But what?
Because
like I didn't opine on whether it's evil or not, but my position is it's really none of my business. And
why is it? But I have a question. Why is it none of your business? I mean, you comment on these things for a living.
I'm not mother of the internet.
No, but if this were on the left and somebody were accusing Charlie Kirk of his wife having murdered him, I assume that you would be talking about it.
Is that what Candace is accusing Erica of?
Yes.
So yeah, a lot of people noticed that Candace actually did not say that, so that doesn't really help his credibility. But if you think that's bad, check out this clip from this week.
If you're a young person and you can't afford to live here, then.
And by the way, I know this does look like AI. It's not AI, but it's a weirdly edited clip right here. It's not AI though.
Maybe you should not live here. I mean, that is a real thing. Yeah, I know that we've now grown up in a society that says that you deserve to live where you grew up, but the reality is that the history of America is almost literally the opposite of that. The history of America is you go to a place where there is opportunity. And if the opportunities are limited here and they're not changing, then you really should try to think about other places where you have better opportunities.
Yeah, that's a real.
That is crazy. That is a crazy take.
Positive conservative message. Young people just give up and consider moving somewhere else. Wasn't Ben the guy who suggested that we should change the Constitution to elect Bibi Netanyahu as our president?
I don't know if that's true or not. I wouldn't put it past Ben for saying that, but yeah, he's having a real tough week right now. No one, I mean, and everyone is calling him out right now, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse. I mean, I just don't know what the point of what he's trying to accomplish is right now. But it's backfiring gloriously. Redview Studio for 10 says, Jeremy, if you're going to scan me, at least buy me dinner. Yeah, I know. I got accused of scanning again. It's a glorious thing, isn't it? Thank you, man. I appreciate it. Joey says, this was not recent, bro. This was okay. Hang on. You said this was not recent, bro. This wasn't months ago. You were just being nice. I'm not going to roast you. Okay. You were just being nice. But I mean, again, still, the point stands is regardless if it's recent or if it was months ago, he still said it. Vault 95 says, Levin is like Stephen A. He just yells like a woman. CG says, I loathe people like Fuentes, but the more they obsess, the stronger he gets. If they just shut up, he'll fade away in obscurity. No fuel, no fire. Well, so I brought this, I meant to bring this up I think it was the previous stream. So I was bringing up Andrew Tate, and when Andrew Tate went through this massive cancellation, then there was this onslaught of like small viral clips from Andrew Tate that went mega viral, and he was everywhere. And it elevated Andrew Tate in everyone's eyes. Everyone was talking about him, whether it was positive or negative. He was getting reactions everywhere. And these small clips were, really like a lot of on point things he was saying. He's very entertaining and all of that. And so it kept happening. And if you've noticed, now that Andrew Tate he's not available on YouTube, but like with him being on Twitter and being on Rumble and all of these places, and a lot of the stuff, a lot of the hoopla around Andrew Tate has died down now. Now that his message is fully out there for people to hear in its full context, he's not really as relevant as he used to be. I'm not saying the guy doesn't have a following, because he does, but he's not that massive influence machine that he was, because now people are starting to get the full picture. And I think that this is what happens with Fuentes, where these people just continue to hate on him, and it creates more controversy. I think Fuentes is a really good communicator. I think he knows how to talk to his audience. I think he's very talented. And I think he has a lot of interesting points that he's putting out there for sure. But it's like when he talked to like Patrick Bet David, was like, why do you say a lot of the things you say? It's not helping your message get out there. And that's why I've said, I think Fuentes is far more entertaining when he's on someone else's show than his own show. And I mean, I stand by that. Like when he is on with Patrick Bet David, or when he was on with Tucker Carlson, he's so much more interesting to listen to than when he's on his own show and he's just spewing off whatever he wants to spew off. So with that said, I'm not a fan, but I'm also not a fan of Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin and all of that. So we'll see what happens. Linko Kenobi 450 says, what's up, Jeremy? I'm not liking what Trump is doing with the Chinese. America comes first end of the discussion anyways. Still here, just throwing a small donation until lower some debts. Also watching you from work. Hail the 199. Love that IDOT song. Hail to you, brother. You brought that up, and I do have a little more context on that I want to add, because I just saw, I don't mean any disrespect to this person, okay? But this person is the biggest Trump ball washer of all. It just is. And that is this Johnny MAGA account. And I don't have anything against him, but the dude, I've never seen this dude criticize Trump ever. Like, I've never seen it. I've never, ever seen this account criticize Trump ever. Now, right here. So this is the Disclosed TV. He says, here we go again. The 600K number that Laura Ingraham references is 2 years worth of visas for the 300K currently attending colleges. You can dislike the policy of having them, but Trump is not advocating bringing more foreigners here. So right here, White House clarifies Chinese student visa policy. President Trump isn't proposing an increase in student visas for Chinese students. The 600K references 2 years worth of visas. It's simply a continuation of an existing policy. Maybe that's true, but that doesn't change the fact that President Trump actively is telling Laura Ingraham that the criticism of this in any capacity, he's not worried about it, because he knows MAGA better than everybody. It's just a bad take. It's okay to have a bad take. But he's not clarifying it right here. Like, this is a new interview. This interview is happening right now. So Trump could have clarified it right there. We don't need Johnny MAGA to come in here and clarify it. So there you have it. So it's just absolutely, like, I still, this changes nothing. This context doesn't add anything to the equation. Trump can clarify it if he wants to. But it's still a very, very bad take. Thank you, Linko. I appreciate it, brother. Marmelin says that these guys make Nick sound cool, and that's saying something. Let's see. Dragon Dan says half of MAGA isn't Trump's idea. It's what the right used to be before the pushes and the Fox News took over. MAGA third party talk is psyop to split the right. If you're MAGA, you're also Republican. People in general think they're independents, but tens of thousands of people think just like them. Yeah, I mean, MAGA is exactly what a political party should be. MAGA essentially took over the Republican Party. It just did. And, you know, it's still Republican Party in name or whatever, but like MAGA just completely took it over and ran with it. And it's glorious. And that's what it should be. That's why I'm always thinking, like, you know, call out libertarians and all that bullshit, you know, because it's like, you know, what are you going to do? You're going to sit around and you're like, you know, just continue to have your 2% of the vote. Whoop-de-doo. But I mean, I personally can't stand Republicans or the Republican Party. You know, what Trump has created with MAGA is the greatest political movement ever. And what happens with MAGA when Trump is no longer running it is a huge question mark that no one can actually answer. Only time will tell. Little Jim Salo says, scan in tax Mossad agent 199A5. Aaron Alexander says, the Shogun is scanning in 199. I guess we got to bring the scan in meme back. Where's Hellraiser at? Is he back? I mean, you're bringing the scan in meme back now. I mean, look, we're all about it. We're all about it. Peanut Junder says, I bet Mark or Ben endorse a Democrat in 2028. They're already using all of the buzzwords and talking points. Good riddance as far as I'm concerned. I don't think that they will endorse a Democrat, but they will find someone that's not necessarily MAGA to endorse. I believe that. Harley Davis is scanning in so fucking hard right now. Sean Living Life says, scan tax. PBR says, it's not just Ben Shapiro, Mark Levin, it's also Officer Tatum. Oh yeah, Brandon Tatum. That dude's completely bought and paid for. Completely. Again, I did a show with Brandon Tatum years ago. Me, Ryan, Brandon Tatum, and is it Anthony Brian Logan? Is that his name? ABL? Is that his name? Anthony Brian Logan, I think. And I've talked about it recently, but yeah, I mean, we had a good show. We had a really good show. And never spoke with him again. And so I was like, all right. And to me, like, the world that I'm in, you know, the 199, the fellowship, all of that, like, it's very much a laid back kind of, you know, kind of just friends. There's no motives involved or anything like that. But there are occasional people that I will stream with, and it's completely like 100% like a business situation. It's like, okay, you know, like, you come on my stream because you have a few followers, and I would like to let your followers, I would like to basically bring you onto my show. You share out on social media that you're on my show, and then hopefully your followers will join me, and then we'll never speak again. And that's exactly how the Brandon Tatum thing was it was just business with him. It wasn't about like, hey, let's connect and see what your ideas are and all that. It was not about that. It was just like, hey, thanks for joining my show. See you later. Fuck you. I'm never talking to you again. Okay. And I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that per se. That's how a lot of people operate. That's just not how I operate. I'm not just looking to bring somebody on. I fucking hate that fucking mindset of like, oh, somebody's going viral on Twitter. Let me bring this person on my show so I can get, you know, some following from it. It's just like, I don't like that. I'll never like, maybe I tried to do that in the early days, but as soon as I realized how, you know, mainstream it felt, it's, you know, just the definition of like ambulance chasing. I just couldn't do it, man. So not for me. So that's why I've kind of cut back on the collabs, and I don't really care to collab with people. I don't care to do all that. I've got a great, you know, friend group here on YouTube and all of that. And I just like to stay in my lane from that perspective. Unseen Dimension says, I am super chat broke right now, but still scanning in. Let's go, brother. Let's see. Nikki says, Scan tax. Thank you. Matt Proc says scanning tax. Thank you. Hero says, don't scan me, bro. Don't scan me, bro. Let's see. Beckinator Plays says, stick to what you're good at, Jeremy. Political, no BS news. We all know you can't play Mario Kart. Thank you. Harley Dave says, Jeremy never reads chat. Angel says, Nick doesn't hate women. He hates feminists. I'm a woman, and so do I. And no more wars for Israel. Carl Anderson says, hey, Ben, Crowder called. He was wondering why you're such a horrible friend to him. Pot literally calling kettle black here. Ben, you ain't clean, dude. It does feel like the Ben Shapiro stuff is collapsing right now. And again, Ben is the biggest guy in the conservative side. So, I mean, it is what it is. So right here, dude, we've got some breaking news. I mean, it's about 40 minutes ago now, but breaking: Antifa has turned Turning Point's Turning Points event at at UC Berkeley in California into an absolute war zone. Look at this right here. Holy crap, dude. All right, this is a live feed of it apparently right here. Let's see if do we have audio? So this is a live feed. I'll see if there's any other live feeds right now that we have. Let me make that a little bit bigger so you guys can see it. So yeah, so this is paid agitators. Yep, more than likely. Let's see here. So this is at the Turning Point event. See if there's any other live feeds right now. Nothing right now. Is there anybody on the ground? Let's see. We got to hit the live filter. See what we got here. That's not going to be it. No. So we have nobody. I don't see if there's anybody on the ground right now. So we only have this chopper shot right now. These people are nuts, man. People are absolutely nuts. Let's see if we can find anything else on Twitter about this. What is this right there? Okay. Trump being Trump. All right. All right. Here's another clip right here. Whoa! What is wrong? What is wrong with these people, man? How does this happen to you? How do you get to a point in life where this happens? Completely just controlled. Got that clip. Is this another one right here? Oh, this is another shot. This is another angle. Yeah. Got whitey tidies on. It got whitey tidies. Oh man, Oh man. Okay, that's so it looks like right now, I mean, when I say things are calm, I wouldn't call it calm. So this is a little bit earlier.
Fuck you, fascist! Fuck you, fascist! Fuck you, fascist! Fuck you, fascist! Chingala migra! Chingala migra! Chingala migra! Chingala migra! Fuck you, fascist!
God, I can't take it, bro. It's like there's not like I can't take this. This is painful to listen to.
Chingala migra!
Talk about the kidnapping. Just take away. Why are they kidnapping? Christ is Lord.
Fuck ICE! 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 We're gonna start our first speech of the night.
Stop the kidnapping. Stop the deportation. Jesus Christ is the Messiah. He will be returned.
The first speech of the night. I would like to welcome Antonio from Students Organizing for Liberation. Hello. I first want to thank all of you all for coming out here. And I do want to pay attention to our comrade right here. They have a point. It is our job as students to be educators within the student movement. It is not enough to say fuck fascism when we don't tell why we need it.
Wow. So he just took all those shirts and threw them.
Within the student movement. It is not enough to say fuck fascism when we don't tell why we need it. Okay, this is it.
Guys, that's exactly what they want. That's exactly what they want.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Break it up! Break it up! Break it up! By the police, break it up!
The guy with the red. The guy with the red.
Break it up! Break it up! Police, break it up! Police, break it up! Hey, white boy, break it up! You bleeding bitch!
Ooh.
Hey, white boy!
All right, well, we're gonna get age restricted on this one. So, did we get a raid? Thank you for the raid. I'm not seeing who raided us. Thank you for the raid.
Relax! Break it up! Break it up!
Relax.
What happened, white boy? Hey, white boy, what the fuck happened?
Guys.
I'm gonna get hit. I got to get past that. Thank you for the raid. Appreciate that. Thank you. So we're currently looking at an Antifa event, or a Turning Point USA event that Antifa has basically turned into a war zone right now. It's really bad.
Hey, white boy, you learned your lesson?
It's at UC Berkeley.
What he's doing is selling shirts. Why are they getting arrested for beating them up? Why are you arresting the people that beat them up?
No, I used to be Charlie Kirk. I got fucking robbed, bro. Hey, we're gonna be medical attention.
You should be arresting the people that beat them up.
Back up, please. Back it up.
Where's the people that beat them up? You should be arresting them.
Back up.
Yeah, imagine arresting the guy that was attacked. I see you over there, Vex Sphere, on Kick. Imagine arresting the guy that was attacked and they threw his T-shirts across because it says freedom. Because it says freedom and it represents Charlie Kirk, so they're throwing his T-shirts away.
Everybody got video, bro. I did not.
The upside down. Yes, sleepies. That is a very accurate statement. For those that watch Stranger Things, and I watch Stranger Things, that's what, like, California, Democrat-led cities are the upside down. That's just what they are. They are the upside down.
Push him out. Make a good circle. Yeah.
It's absolute chaos. I mean, personally, like, I would not be anywhere near this, but I'm glad that there are people that are out there. Like, this is, I think, Savannah Hernandez covering this. I'm glad there are people out there covering it, but it's just like these leftist hellholes, man. These Democrat-led cities is awful. At least they got Colin Kaepernick. So there's Colin Kaepernick being arrested right there. He's being arrested for disrespecting the United States of America, kneeling for the national anthem. So Colin Kaepernick arrested. No, I was joking. That wasn't really Colin Kaepernick. All right, they got to stop showing this guy because YouTube is going to hit me. So that's one clip. There's a lot of clips, though, that I'm seeing. So right here, I believe this is a live shot right now of what's going on at the event. We have no audio on that, but that's a live shot. I've got a few bookmarked shots here from earlier. If I can find it, hang on. Let's see. Right. So what is this? Fights are breaking out. I think this might be the same. This might be the same thing that we just saw.
Last hour, we've highlighted for you as some fights broke
Yep,
out
this
in
is
this crowd.
This is what we just saw from a different angle.
Again, we know 2 people have been detained as emotions are high and tensions are high.
All right, so let's see what happened here. So I think this is the guy that was in the red shirt. This guy comes in from over here and takes his shirts and throws them.
Last hour, we've highlighted for you as some fights broke out in this.
Yeah, like somebody went after him is what it looks like right here. Like there's a guy right here that's instigating this is what it appears to. So one guy is coming from him in this direction. Another guy is coming to take his shirts.
As some fights broke out
Throws
in
his
this
shirts,
crowd.
and
Again, we
then-
know 2 people have been detained as emotions are high and tensions are high. As we saw some of those protesters clashing with people waiting in line to get inside. We know the university has added enhanced security measures. They've called in a lot of police from Berkeley as well as UC Berkeley, and Turning Point USA has also hired some of their own independent security to be on campus. There are strict policies to actually get inside of Zellerbach Hall, but we know certainly tensions are high outside of Zellerbach Hall right now. We want to show you some more video here of some of that law enforcement presence as they took at least one last hour. We've highlighted.
Freaking crazy, man. Absolutely nuts. Let's see here. We've got another shot right. I think this is the one that we showed. Yeah, this is what we showed earlier. Okay. Whatever works for you, I guess. Whatever works for you. Sean Living Life says the divide on the right is all online. Talk to the average conservative that isn't chronically online and they could care less about this divide. You are 100% correct about that. I agree with that completely. But it is still an issue that it could bleed into the bigger picture, and that's what I'm worried about. Fentanyl Floyd says before Trump came along, we were stuck with McCain and Romney types with all the infighting. We're going to get Newsom AOC presidency in 2028. Whew. I mean, I still think that JD Vance is the right guy to lead the Republicans in MAGA into 2028, and I think he will be great at it. Paul says nothing's changed since Cain killed Abel. A boy named Blue says, "Hey Jeremy, can't stay long because I have to study for a Latin test tomorrow. But when I saw you were live, I wanted to send you a few bucks." Well, thank you, man. I really appreciate that. That is super cool of you, man. Well, good luck. And on your test tomorrow, and let us know how it went. Fantastic Knox says, if the left are tolerant, then I crap rainbows. A boy named Blue says, that behavior of theirs isn't going to look good in the pearly gates, bro. Agreed. Fantastic Knox says, then I'm still kind of tipsy. It's all good, brother. I knew what you meant. Lord Voldemort says, bring Benny on CobraCast. I almost did that a while back. CG says, all I see are a bunch of cowards push back hard and they'll fold like a cheap suit. Send them to Mars to colonize the place. Slain Hope says, most privileged white people on earth right here. A boy named Blue says, Matthew 10:22, and you will be hated by all for my name's sake, but the one who endures to the end will be saved, Jesus Christ. Thank you, a boy named Blue. Jameson says, I would be okay with Berkeley being shut down. Storm Shadow says, do you remember Rob Riggle's bit on the Daily Show of the Marines in Berkeley? His interviews with Berkeley hippies was hilarious. I don't remember that. I didn't really watch that. So I don't. I'm sure people in the chat do, though. Steeltown says, let's see. Colin is a fig. That's all I'll say. Bastion says, the other guy stole his necklace. So the guy, the Colin Kaepernick looking guy, is that who we're talking about? I guess. Let's Let's see. So right now, again, this is a live shot of a bunch of idiots out here that are trying to protest or disrupt the Turning Point event at Berkeley. I Trump can't say. I got a clip over to here because this is Trump with his famous line about the black women in Chicago. Right here, he says it all the time.
In Chicago, what is your message to him?
Well, look, number one, he's got a 4% approval rating. You have people in Chicago, beautiful black women wearing a MAGA hat, red MAGA hat. Please come, Mr. Trump, President. They call me president. They call me Mr. They can call me whatever they want. Please come, President Trump. Please come to. They're begging us to come.
It's like a few. It's like 2 or 3 videos of like a black woman wearing a MAGA hat. Trump's just like, you've got beautiful black women wearing MAGA hats begging. Like, what are you talking about, Trump? Oh, man. That's Trump for you, though. So, wow. Even General Flynn is calling Trump out on this 600,000 Chinese students. Sorry, Mr. POTUS, if we didn't allow 600,000 Chinese spies to steal even more intellectual property and other ideas about how to dominate our way of life, it wouldn't make a dent in the U.S. colleges and universities. So even General Flynn is calling Trump out on this. So there you have it. And that's the thing, man. Like I said, I just responded with no. That's it. I knew Johnny MAGA was going to defend it because there is not a single thing Trump will ever do that Johnny MAGA will criticize. And I've seen it. I followed the guy for a long time, and I've never seen him say a bad word about Trump. Like nothing Trump does. Like, I remember when Trump said, basically said something good about Bud Light. I remember him taking a picture with a Bud Light. He's saying, "This has never tasted so good." So I was like, "Oh my God, man, what is going on? Are you that deep into this?" Like, okay, whatever. D-Day Cobra, did you see Theory's comment on Josh Dinner's situation? If you're talking about his live stream, yeah, I saw it. I don't think anything else has happened in the last few days, but I did see his comments on it. I stand by what I said. For Josh to say he's minimum $500 for a live stream is the craziest thing a person can say. His ego must be out of control to believe that he's worth $500. Like, I am one of the top super chatted channels on all of YouTube. And I would never ask for a dime to go on somebody's live stream. And the fact that this dude said $500 minimum to appear on a live stream. Are you kidding me? Get the hell out of here, man. It's absolutely insane. Piano Dean says, Cristiano Ronaldo is so cool. People are usually surprised to learn that I never really was a great soccer player. Most of the time I was kicking at bees. Thank you, Piano Dean. Hail to you. Let's see here. Harley Dave says, "Hey, Jeremy, want to go on my live stream? $500 minimum." It's just crazy, man. It's crazy. Somebody would say that. And that meme should always follow him around. It should always follow him around. Hey, did you make $500 off this? Did you make $500 off that? It's crazy. But hey, man, whatever, man. You do you, but you're gonna get made fun of on the internet for shit like that. So, and you deserve to get made fun of for shit like that. Absolutely. Memes run the internet. That's the bottom line. Aren't we all retarded? Yes, Lance, we are all retarded in some way, shape, or form. In fact, if you want to see one of the most retarded people, I'm not memeing on this, that would be one Kamala Harris.
I was aware of my opponent's strategy, and I wasn't about to fall prey or fall into those traps. And part of his strategy and those around him was to try and take me off our game and message. And I wasn't about to be distracted by those flames that he was trying to throw to get me away from my highest priority, which was talking to people about the economy and their well-being in terms of their financial well-being.
Is she aware she lost? Is she aware that she lost?
And so I understood the game that was being played, and I made a decision that I wasn't going to get played. And
Chestnut checkers, got it.
Chestnut checkers. Yeah, three-dimensional chess. I'm telling you. I was aware.
Do you think these people do you think when the show is over, they just go and they kind of get together and they're like, that bitch is stupid? I have to imagine that they do that when they finally sit down and talk to her and they see how cringy it is and how hard it is to get through the conversation. You're like, yeah, she's stupid. She's very stupid. She's not likable in any way, shape, or form. You know who is likable? John freaking Murdoch is likable. $50 super chat. Hey, Jeremy, can't do 500, but I can do 50. I guess that's more of a cover charge. Hail the 199. Hail Jeremy, Mage Prime of the 199. Chat lives matter. Mod lives matter. Happy Jessica. Also, Kamala sounds sauced. Oh, she is so sauced. I mean, look, man, listen. She is one of the most unlikable. Thank you, John. Hail to you, brother. She's one of the most unlikable human beings we have ever seen. I mean, it is just next level how unlikable she is. And good Lord. I mean, I have to imagine all three of these chicks, after this is all said and done, they probably are like, dude, she's stupid. I mean, she is stupid. And I mean, it is what it is. So I think she should keep talking. I think she should keep doing interviews. It is content gold for people like me. I fully endorse her doing more and more interviews so we can see how dumb she is on a daily basis. I am all here for it. It will be beautiful. There was another clip from earlier right here. I have not heard this clip yet. Twitter's acting stupid right now. Here we go. Okay, so right here, Bill Maher's TDS suddenly vanishes when Cheryl Hines shares a surprising fact about Trump. So let's hear this.
What somebody was just asking me about when I met him, what surprised me the most, and I said I was surprised that he really likes to listen to people. He's very curious and what
they
you have to say.
hated when I said that. Again, because I'm just telling you what happened.
Correct. This is RFK's wife. And from what I understand, I don't know if I'm wrong about this. I think that when RFK decided to stop his campaign and join the Trump campaign, I think she wasn't happy about it, if I'm not mistaken. She wasn't happy about it. And then she met with Trump. And of course, Donnie turned on the charm, as he always does. So I think that's the correct version of what happened, though.
What, should I lie?
I guess so. I guess
right.
that's
He
what they
kicked
want.
me in the balls
Yeah.
under the table, and then
Like I knew he would.
He threw the spaghetti against the wall when I raised the subject of tariffs. No, no.
Yeah, he listened.
Yeah, I think he actually wants more people around him for a stimulating conversation.
Yeah.
I was very surprised at, and mentioned it again, they hated me for it, that as opposed to so many important people I've met who, when you talk to them, you don't feel like they're really listening. They're kind of like, you know what I mean? And then when they answer you, it doesn't quite track, you know?
They're just waiting for their turn to talk.
Yes, or they're just on this different level. I mean, these are show people too. I've had that. But I didn't get that with him at all.
No.
I got a guy who looked in my eye,
Yes.
was listening to what I said, waited until I finished, even when it was contradictory, when it was he never got blustery or mad about it. You know, he said some things that I don't agree with and some things that I think are just, you know.
Oh gosh, someone said something you don't agree with. Like when people like Maher talk like that, you know that they have surrounded themselves with people that just agree with everything they say. every normal person in the world is constantly surrounded by people that they disagree with, because that's being a normal human. That's it.
Plainly not right. Like, third term. Yeah, I think you could do it. I'm having people look into it. No, you can't do it. and you can have people look into it from now until the end of time. It's like 12 words in the Constitution. You can't do it. But he didn't get mad.
Right.
And then I also made the point that, I went home that night and I was getting into bed in 60 Minutes. I taped it. And there he is on 60 Minutes. And he's like ranting and raving. I'm like, who's this guy?
Yeah.
This is not the guy I met.
Yeah.
And so I'm just the reporter here. I'm just telling you.
This was my experience.
If this is Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, find a way to work with Dr. Jekyll.
What somebody was.
Bill Maher. Donald J. Trump is probably the most famous human being on the planet. He has succeeded in everything that he has done. He is now the most successful politician of our lifetime. He was a billionaire before then. He was a celebrity before then. He was a reality TV show before then. He succeeded in real estate. He succeeded in hotels. Yeah, he had his many failures as well, because guess what? Successful people fail in order to succeed. That's part of like life. So for Bill Maher to say that Donald Trump needs to start doing things differently is such an arrogant Hollywood elitist bullshit. It's just like, why would Trump do anything different than what he's done to being elevated to be not only the most famous human being on the planet, but the most powerful man in the world? And a lot of people claim that he is the most powerful president, at least in our lifetime, maybe in history, because he has more power in the position of president than anyone else. So it's just crazy, man. So I'm sure he'll just take your advice, Bill Maher. I'm sure that'll work out just fine. So absolutely insane. Okay, let's see here. Let me catch up on Super Chats. Piano Dina got that one. Nick for 10 says, Berkeley is a shit show. I grew up there. Too many liberals. I am leaving California in 2026 for Tennessee, and I can't wait. Most cities in California have too many mentally ill liberals. 199, thank you, brother. Hey, man, thank you. And you will love Tennessee. Tennessee is beautiful. Stay away from Memphis, though. Stay away from Memphis. But other than that, Tennessee has got some beautiful landscapes. And you will love it there. Maxos BT says, where my breed sat. Horror Amarada says, I've always wanted to get you on a live stream, but to sit down and chat, but you're too busy. Yeah, I just live stream so much, whether it's gaming, political stuff, geeks and gamers. It's crazy. So one of these days, maybe. Avoid Memphis. Don't fill up gas in Memphis. Ministry of Wrong Things says, I thought Sterling Craig hasn't been on Tuesday's main event till he pays the $650 grip tax. Nandy for 50 says, let's say Johnny M, YouTube is gay, I can't use the 4-letter movement acronym, is right. It's horrible to extend the current 300,000 Chinese students visa. This, as well as $2,000 rebate check. Trump has had a few myths. Again, nothing is set in stone yet. Agreed completely. Are you telling me in a super chat you can't say MAGA in a super chat? Really? You can't say MAGA in a super chat? That's just, there's got to be. I've seen people say MAGA in super chats before. Maybe you can't say it with the name. That's crazy. People are saying no. Really? That is insane. Parrothead says, hail Jeremy and the 199. Hail to you, brother. Toddy says, bet they paid $100K for that set. The censors are weird. So there's Delona with the member message. Okay, so some people are saying it. Okay, then I could really grift this. Maybe you can't say it in a $50 super chat. Okay, so we've gotten the $2 is confirmed. We've got a $9.99 is confirmed. We got a $1.99 is confirmed. I mean, we can test them all. We can test, 50, 100, a $1.99. We can go all the way up to 500. And I'm only doing it for science because I care. It's not to grift, okay? I would never do that to grift. Harley Dave says, let's keep it going. Nandy, I don't know if you meant to do this or not, but no, Beckinator Place. Nandy, did you mean to do this? 1992 space movie with a 20, it says MAGA. For educational purposes. Swanee for a 50 says MAGA. Incredible grift. Incredible. Josh from Den of Nerds, man. This is how you do it. All right. You don't just tell people to give you a $500 super chat, you retard. You just ask people to drop MAGA super chats. All right. There's Candy with the MAGA lurker tax. Oh man. William says Jeremy cares. All right, he cares about that money. Oh, no businessman cares about his money. Whew, you got me. Nandy says, but if you feel guilty, send it my way. Thank you. Fresh Pony says MAGA works here. Andrew says MAGA MTFers. See, clearly it works. But no, I do think that sometimes it's just like you don't ask for it, you earn it. That's right. That's right. Thank you, Beckinator Plays, for the MAGA Red $100. Laughing Man says $500 MAGA super chat, no hard R. That's really you, Laughing Man, right? The J Laughing Man. You have two different accounts. Eric says Jeremy has to be paid to look at beautiful women. He is not helping the gay rumors. Jimmy Ray says, what if it's only a combination with another word? Can we say Johnny MAGA? Yep, there you have it. See? I don't know what game Nandy was playing, but I'm okay with that. I am absolutely okay with that. So there you have it. See? Listen, it's just for educational purposes. Fresh Pony says MAGA Trump tax. By the way, and listen, you guys know that I'm very sensitive to racial issues in our country. Harley Dave says well played, grift confirmed. Jay Laughman says at least 2 accounts. So I'm very sensitive to sensitive racial issues. I am the least racist person on YouTube. And like I said, I'm so not racist that I only say gamer words when I'm driving, because I just respect everyone so much that I only say gamer words while I'm driving. But the thing here is, I've always kind of been really sarcastic when it came to these things, but I finally see a video that has really opened my eyes up to how important it is to focus on, diversity and equity and inclusion. I think these things are important. Right here, ladies and gentlemen. A video shows the Apple Store in downtown Los Angeles being looted in real time, with crowds smashing windows and grabbing iPhones. This right here really convinced me that white people, you need to give up your iPhones to black people. Black people need iPhones. Black people need iPhones. Okay? Simple as that. Okay? Nothing stops racial injustice like the latest iPhone and a pair of Jordans. I have been convinced. Nothing. This is it right here. This is to stop racial injustice. I'm pretty sure this is an old video, by the way. I think this is an old video. Very old video. I think it's like a year old, probably. I think. So again, I'm only giving advice, and I'm only trying to help you. Okay. So next time you are in a big city, a democratic city, if anything bad is happening, if you see any, people that are stealing in the name of, racial inequality and social justice, my advice to you is to go to a bookstore. It is the safest place in the event that this happens. If you go to a bookstore, there is almost a 100% chance no one will bother you. No one will be breaking in. No one will be there. That's what you do. Go to bookstores. You will be protected. That's my advice. Very sarcastic advice. But yeah, that is an old video. So, but I just wanted to be very sarcastic. So, because that's what we do around here. John freaking Murdoch says, I had no idea that gamer words were racist. I guess I don't know gamer words. Well, if you ride around in a vehicle with me, you will hear a lot of gamer words. I mean, a lot. It's bad. I mean, I get very, very angry, man. I think you guys saw like a little bit a tease of that the other day. I actually saw the same day that I did my truck video. There was this girl who was live on Kick, and who was it? Was it Tectone that tweeted this out? Okay, Tectone tweeted this out. Let's see here. Right here. So this girl on Kick, she's a Kick streamer, accidentally causes a car accident after getting distracted by her phone and chat.
I just hit a car.
Women drivers. Ladies and gentlemen, women drivers. What's the other girl that had this? Wasn't there another big female streamer that did this same thing? What was her name? There's another one. There's a big female streamer. I think she's Asian, right? What's her name? Somebody's gonna say it. Not X-Ray Girl. Extra Emily, that's it. Yes, Extra Emily, the Asian girl. She actually did the same thing too. She was streaming and she got in a car wreck. Look, man, women drivers. As simple as that. So ban them. Ban them completely. As a matter of fact, not on that front, but I did see I'm gonna have to tweet this out so I can share it. Give me just a minute and I'll find it. But I mean, we're criticizing Trump for, the Chinese students, and which I agree with completely. Let me see if I can find it. Where's this one at? Well, I can't find it right now, but there was a picture of Trump, and he was sitting at his desk, and he was holding up when he does those executive orders. And he had an executive order where he was banning all women from video games. And I was like, sir, you could run in 2028 now and win in a landslide if you ban women from video games. Ban women from video games, 100%, 100% dub city forever. except for the lovely ladies in our chat. You're okay. The ladies in our chat, I'll work on getting you guys a pass. You guys can play video games, but all the others, if they're not in a CobraCast chat, they're done. Okay. Blue Ridge Bear has the correct. Okay. You're correct. All right. Hang on. Where's it at? Blue Ridge Bear says, unless they're hot. Okay. Correct. All right. Unless they're hot. And then like, all right, we'll give you a pass. So kind of like with Alex Stein, he's like, don't deport the big booty Latinas. So where are we at? You guys spammed me with all those MAGA taxes. Fantastic Knox says, them, F ICE, also them. I'm gonna steal your iPhones because F ICE. Critic says Jer MAGA with a Y. 8 o'clock says MAGA R with a hard R. Think I got all of those. Fresh Pony says MAGA works here. All those super chats we are caught up on, I think. Nandor with a MAGA. Baconator plays with a MAGA. I like how Baconator plays dropped a 2, but then he's also drops the $100 that says MAGA. I respect you. I respect you for that. 1992 Space Movie with a 20 with a MAGA. Zwani with a 50 for MAGA. Candy T with a MAGA. Chad Layton with the MAGA lurker tags. Andrew with the MAGA MTFers. Fresh Pony got that one. Yep. All right. Caught up on all those. I went to see after Trump called out Marjorie Taylor Greene. What's her dude's name? Brian Glenn. Yeah, there he is. Has he tweeted? All right, Brian Glenn has not tweeted since Trump called out Marjorie Taylor Greene. No tweeting from him. His last thing he retweeted was the White House on November 9th, so yesterday. What about his replies? Any replies? No replies really. I'm sad she went on that show. Oh, talking about her going on The View. And he's like, yeah, it's really sad that she went out there to spread conservative values. Dude, he is going to be heartbroken with Trump calling her out. I don't know how he's going to handle it. His profile picture is him sitting with Trump. And all he does is defends her. His background is Air Force One. What's he going to do that Trump has now called out Marjorie Taylor Greene? Bro, this is going to be a strange situation for him. I feel bad for the guy. Not really. So let me find it. Trump MTG right here. So here's Trump when he was asked about it.
Earlier today, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who is a big ally of yours, said that she would rather see you focused on nonstop domestic policy meetings here at the White House instead of nonstop foreign policy meetings. What's your response to her saying that, and also saying that grocery prices are up and not down, as you've said?
Yeah, so I don't know what happened to Marjorie. She's a nice woman, but I don't know what happened. She's lost her way, I think. But I have to view the presidency as a worldwide situation, not locally. I mean, we could have a world that's on fire where wars come to our shores very easily if you had a bad president. We had a horrible president, and we ended up with Russia, Ukraine, and we ended up with other disasters too. Don't forget, I put out 8 wars, 9 to come. I think I'll get the other one taken care of, but I put out 8 wars. And look at the damage that Russia, Ukraine has done to us as a country. I mean, we spent $350 billion. We're not spending any money anymore. Now they pay us through NATO. You know, I got NATO to go from 2% to 5%. Well, that's very important. When you're president, you really sort of have to watch over the world because you're going to be dragged into it. Otherwise, you're going to be dragged into a world war. I think if I weren't president, first of all, that war would have never happened if I was president. And if I weren't president, that war could have led to World War III. It won't. It's not going to anymore. But when I first got in, I said, wow, this situation could lead to World War III. And I got NATO together. I got everybody together. But with all of that, I passed a great, big, beautiful bill, which is the biggest tax cuts in the history of our country. So when somebody like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's now catering to the other side, I don't know what, I guess she's, got some kind of an act going, but I'm surprised at her. But when somebody like Marjorie goes over and starts making.
And from what I understand, Brian Glenn was in. He usually is in the press pool, so he was probably there while Trump was saying this. I would have given anything to see his facial expressions while this was going on.
Making statements like that, it shows she doesn't know. I don't devote a lot of my time. Let me give you.
So that'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But time will tell. We got this right here. What is this? 8 passengers taken to hospital after people mover hits dock.
Now, Sky Fox flying over Dulles International, and you can see a pretty large response there on the tarmac. We're being told that one of the people movers hit the dock as it was pulling up to the terminal. The collision happening about an hour ago, 4:30 this afternoon. Passengers have now been offloaded. They are currently being checked out by emergency crews there for potential injuries. The airport is open and operating as normal. Of course, as soon as we bring you any updates, you'll hear them right here on Fox 5.
This is why like the first thing that I think of, whether it's right or wrong, DEI hire. Like that's what I think of when I hear stuff like that. That's immediately the first thing I think of, whether it's right or wrong. And a lot of you were saying it in the chat too. DEI hire doesn't mean that it's, I mean, we've there's a lot of mistakes that happen, but it's just like I said this the other day with the new Vince Gilligan show. I keep forgetting how to pronounce it. Pluribus or something like that. Pluribus. The first 2 episodes are fantastic. I love the first 2 episodes. And I can't wait for the rest of the show. But it's got the Kim Wexler, the actress that played Kim Wexler in Better Call Saul. She's the lead in the show, and I think she's a fantastic actress. But you start this show out, and it's interesting from the get-go, but you're very early on introduced with her being a lesbian in the show. And that doesn't bother me in isolation, but it definitely bothers me in current Hollywood. And I'm sitting here going, I love this show. I love Vince Gilligan. I love this actress. What is happening right now? Is this being done to tell a proper story, or is this being done to fill a diversity quota? And the fact that I have to ask those questions shows the current state of the industry. And that same thing applies to this. We shouldn't have to immediately ask, is it a DEI situation when we hear about a terrible accident? But because they have put so much emphasis on DEI, we can't help but to initially go, was this a DEI hire? That's just a bottom line right there. And if they don't, if the powers that be, Hollywood, whoever, if you don't like that, fuck you, because you created this entire narrative. You created all of these problems. You're the one that has virtue signaled so much to the point where we can't help but to question this stuff, because you idiots have done nothing but preach about this shit for years. You have told us that it's at the forefront of your hiring practices. You have told us it's at the forefront of your storytelling. You guys have done this, so now we can't help but to ask these questions. Simple as that. Like, I remember, because this was kind of before all this craziness happened. Like, when did Sons of Anarchy end? I don't remember when Sons of Anarchy ended. What year that show ended. I mean, I don't think Sons of Anarchy could not exist in today's world. People would get offended. But that show is one of my favorite shows of all time. I can't remember when it ended, but probably at 2013, 2016, 2017, maybe 2014. Yeah, it's probably 2014. Sounds about right. So the point I'm trying to make here is that Sons of Anarchy later on in the show, and this is a very, like, not a prominent character, but it has like a trans character in it. the storyline involving this character is fucking hilarious. And it works. It works. Like, you're not questioning it. But if this would happen today, you would question it. You would question, like, what's the point? Now, if you guys have seen Sons of Anarchy, you remember this whole story. What was his name? The guy, he's a great actor that played Walton Goggins. Yeah. Yes, he was fantastic in it. It was funny as shit. It was funny as shit. And if you've seen Sons of Anarchy, you know how funny this entire like storyline was. And it worked. It made sense. Yes, Venus, that was the character's name. So like when I watched that, it works, man. It's funny as shit. The whole storyline is amazing. Freaking Tig gets involved with Venus. It's so bad. It's so bad. But anyway, so seeing that then, it was just part of the story. If I see that today, I'm going to go, what's going on here? What's the angle? Why are you putting this in here? And that is because of current Hollywood. So they deserve it. No sympathy for them. John Wayne says it's becoming increasingly harder to argue against the theory that women have been cursed going all the way back to Eve. Get them off the road and repeal the 19th. Unapologetically misogynist. Hey, man, you're not going to get any debate from me. Curtis for 10 says Trump is so wrong about the foreign students in universities. Between that and the government guaranteed loans have ruined universities. Both subsidize the woke administrative bloat and useless degrees. He is completely like there are a few things that I have disagreed with Trump on more than this university situation. It's truly one of his worst stances for sure. Storm Shadow says, for a cross-country trip in winter, though, mountains, would you rather be a passenger in a bus driven by a woman or a plane with a seasoned male pilot? I can't believe you sent me a $5 super chat for me to ponder on this. $5 that I've got to ponder now. Would you rather be a passenger in a bus driven by a woman or in a plane with a seasoned male pilot? This is a winter trip through the mountains. I mean, first of all, I would not let anyone, my hands would be on the wheel. Okay. So, I'm still, listen, man, I'm still going to be on a bus because I can survive that crash. I can't survive a plane crash. I mean, obviously crazy scenario you can, but I'm on the bus, man. I'm on the bus. So, because as soon as I assess that this bitch can't drive, I can get off the bus. I can be like, yo, stop. I need to, and I'll walk and I'll freeze to death at that point. So, yeah, it's a matter of control. Like, I don't have control in a plane. I have zero control in a plane. In a bus, I can still control things. So, you can't change the rules. In the mountains. The illusion of control. No, I have control. I have control. You're bending the rules, Fig. You have zero control in your life. I mean, I can control you, Laughing Man. We both know that's not true. I'm not even going to try to meme on it. Laughing Man controls everything. No stopping unless a crash. Good Lord. Okay, so I'm saving this one for main event. All right, I'm saving this for main event. All right. Fantastic Knox says, I'll say it. MTG is the next Liz Cheney. You're not the only one that thinks that. So you're not the only one that thinks that. Let's see here. Oh my gosh, there was a tweet. I wish I would have bookmarked it. I saw it earlier. I don't know if I can find it. Somebody tweeted this out. It was about PewDiePie. Because people were like, let me see if I can find this tweet. It was kind of going viral about PewDiePie. All right, there. Okay, and then I hate how you have to go to is it post engagements? Is that what it is? Okay, here it is. Okay, so here. All right, this tweet about PewDiePie. Girls don't want fancy cars and fine dining. Girls want what PewDiePie and his wife have. Okay, it's a nice tweet. I'm a huge fan of PewDiePie. I'm so happy Pewds is living his best life. So this tweet was getting a lot of traction. All right, and I saw someone quote tweeted it. All right, someone quote tweeted it. 12 million a year in revenue and living as far away from migrants as possible. Let's go. That's the answer right there. Oh, man. That sums it up, ladies and gentlemen. You can't argue with that. PewDiePie is living his best life right there. So. Oh, man. All right. By the way, I was going to show you something. Whoa, what is this? What? Diddy's in take photo. The fact that he's at Fort Dix. We might be living in a simulation. Like simulation theory is becoming like I'm starting to wonder. Like the fact that Puff Daddy is at Fort Dix is, you can't make this shit up. So there's his photo right there. Fort Dix. Oh man. Good Lord. Maybe we are in a simulation. So let me see. What is this? Okay, I got that one. Got that one. Good old P. Diddy. Something like there was something where he apparently something to do with him having alcohol or something in jail or something like that. And that was like he told the judge that he had stopped, that he was sober, but apparently he got busted drinking alcohol at Fort Dix. It's so funny. You can't make this shit up, dude. You really can't. It's amazing. All right, here's Trump talking about Snap. Here we go.
Administration.
Can we reform SNAP and these benefits so they're used for the people who really need them?
It's meant for people, and you know what it does is it really puts the country at jeopardy. People that need it have to get it. I'm all for it. But people that are able-bodied can do a job. They leave their job because they figure they can pick this up. It's easier. That's not the purpose of it.
So
administration.
Can we?
Yeah, I mean, people that need it can get it, but I'm all for it. But people that are able-bodied can get a job. I mean, I like that he says that, but let's actually follow through with that, because that's the problem. That's the problem, that nobody's forcing them to have to, follow through. And so, in theory, that's perfect, 100% right. So, is Kick working right now? Jeremy driving to Japan. I'm looking to see if Kick's working. Looks like Kick is working. What is this? Not that one. It was a Bernie Sanders clip that I saw was going around. Of course, my book, did it get deleted maybe? I guess it did. It got deleted. Here is CNN reacting to the Democrats caving. Here's Van Jones.
Right now, Democrats are going to kick each other and tear each other up and be mad at each other. But when the smoke clears for most Americans, something has been proven here. Republicans are just not that into Americans right now. I mean, how much pain were the Republicans willing to let Americans suffer so they didn't have to? They're just not that into you, America. They were willing to let planes fall out the sky. They're willing to let children starve. They're willing to let federal workers get evicted from their houses rather than sit down and cut a deal on health care. Like everything that David Urban just said is correct. There's a smarter, better way to do health care. And an opportunity was put forward this past 6 weeks to sit down and talk about it. Republicans didn't do it. They were willing, Donald Trump and Republicans were willing to let planes fall out the sky and children starve before they came to the table. So when Democrats get finished beating themselves up, look at the tattoo you just put on the Republican Party. They don't care about your health care. And so I think take the win on this, Democrats, and keep moving. You had 7 million people in the streets. But I'll give you your turn. But you have 7 million people in the streets. That's a good thing. You kicked their butts last week when it comes to the vote. That's a good thing. And you just exposed these guys as not caring about regular Americans. I think that's a good couple of weeks for Democrats, but we're still going to be mad at each other about it for no reason.
This guy, he is so pathetic. No shame in Van Jones. And why would you? I mean, you're talking to like 14 people on CNN. You know what I mean? So like, no, he doesn't even have to. He doesn't even have to be held accountable because nobody's watching him anyway. By the way, I would just like to point out that I am a huge fan of Michael Jackson. And Michael Jackson becomes the first artist in history to chart in the top 10 of the Billboard Hot 100 in 6 straight decades. The 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, the 2010s, and the 2020s. Forever the GOAT. Michael Jackson, forever the GOAT. That's pretty damn awesome. So, and I am looking forward to the movie. So I'm not a big biopic fan, but this does look pretty good. And I know it's endorsed by the Jackson family, so I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what happens. The Argonaut says, Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin have barely mentioned Nick Fuentes over the last 5 years. You don't actually watch either of them outside of a few clips. That is absolutely not true. They don't make direct comments about him over the years, but they have always made little bitty comments over the years. And that's the whole thing. They made him Voldemort. They would talk about him without talking about him. 100% they were doing that. I don't know about Mark Levin, to be fair. I don't know about Mark Levin, I will say. Ben Shapiro, though, 100% has always made indirect references about him. Because, I mean, to be fair, like Fuentes, tried to, do you remember years ago when Fuentes actually went and tried to, it was in an event. I thought it was a terrible look where Ben Shapiro was with his family and Fuentes tried to corner him on the street with his family. I thought it was a terrible look. Oh my goodness, it was a terrible look. And I'm like, nobody with a working brain and any decency would support that when he cornered Ben Shapiro. And that was my first kind of that was my introduction to Nick Fuentes, was that. And so correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't Ben Shapiro make a comment about Fuentes on the Daily Wire Plus when Trump won? I might be wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure that Ben Shapiro made a comment about Fuentes when Trump won in 2024. I'm pretty sure he did. I think he did. I'll have to wait and let me see if somebody can confirm that. And it was just like, why would you even bring his name up? But I'm pretty sure he did. Somebody will have to tell me though. S. Becker says, I didn't even know Fuentes even existed until last week. He was a lolcow for a long time with his little streaming service with all the young boys and going after everyone on the left. I'd have to look this up. Now, I don't know what's Nick Fuentes trending so much. I doubt I could find it. But I really want to see if I can find where Shapiro mentioned him. I'm pretty sure he did, though. Ben Shapiro, Nick Fuentes. Election night, maybe? Election night. Let's see if I can find it. YouTube has the best search, but I don't know. The algorithm's just bombarded with their two names now, so I don't know how I would be able to find it. I have no idea. He's an IDOT, Jeremy. Who's an IDOT? I'm an IDOT. I'll look that up later because I would like to confirm that. I'm almost certain that he did do it, unless I saw it out of context. It was when Daily Wire had their Daily Wire Plus bullshit or whatever, and pretty sure he said that. Search by oldest. Man, I don't want to do this on a live stream because I'll just be boring everybody. Let's see, release dates. Anyway, I'll look that up later. Ministry of Front Thing says Fort Dix atop. Not even going to try to read it. He mentioned him in a speech he made at Stanford, which got Nick to trying to get him into debate. But yeah, either way, I mean, the bottom line is they created this monster. That's my point. I mean, we can argue about how much he might have directly mentioned him, but indirectly, whatever. But you created the monster. I mean, there's if you believe Fuentes, and I'm not saying he's the most credible person in the world, but Fuentes claims that when he was a nobody, Ben Shapiro was quote tweeting him, calling him anti-Semitic. Now, I'm pretty sure there's receipts to back that up. And apparently he did this multiple times. According to Fuentes, there was this girl, Cassie Dillon or something like that worked with the Daily Wire that was trying to get him in connection with Ben Shapiro when he first started taking off. And Ben Shapiro kind of, gave him the cold shoulder, yada, yada, yada. These are all like things that are on record. So to say that Shapiro has never mentioned him is kind of wild. So, because he has. And anyway, regardless of that, it doesn't really matter. Shapiro created this monster, and now he's dealing with it. So I have no sympathy for Ben Shapiro, who plays identity politics all the time. No, I don't like Nick Fuentes. But I also don't like Ben Shapiro, and I don't like the holier than thou right. And I don't like when people are constantly crying about platforming. That is a mainstream talking point about crying about platforming. I don't like that. I think that that's a very, very dangerous precedent to be setting, and that's something that the left has done. And you hear Mark Levin complaining about platforming a lot. Who cares if somebody is platformed? The reason that we are at where we're at with the rise of independent media is because the left was constantly crying about people being platformed, and now you're seeing people on the right playing the same game of censorship and identity politics that has destroyed the left. And now that it's starting to bleed into the right-wing sphere, it's a problem, and it needs to be acknowledged and called out. And so that's what I will do. And so I have no my motivation is to just call balls and strikes as I see them. I mean, look, I've worked. We had the Daily Wire reach out to us a while back. We did some videos with them. We went to a couple of their events. I've never had a bad experience personally with the Daily Wire, but I don't like what they're doing. I don't like a lot of what they're doing. The Daily Wire got me a interview with Adam Carolla. Now, Adam Carolla had no idea who I was, and it was funny that when he showed up, he was just doing his press tour. But I have every reason. The point I'm trying to make is that I have every reason to try and be, say good things about the Daily Wire to stay in their good graces. I have no reason to say anything bad based on my experiences with them, but I also have to call it like I see it. And I don't like what they're doing and what Ben Shapiro is doing. And if that burns the bridge of that, then it burns the bridge. The only reason I'm where I'm at is because I've always been honest and been direct about how I feel, and I haven't tiptoed around things. And so I'll continue to do that, and it's probably cost me a lot of money over the years and a lot of opportunities, but so fucking what? At the end of the day, I got where I've gotten by being honest, and that's all I'm going to continue to do is be honest. So, let me see here. Matt Walsh is cool. I like Matt Walsh. I've come to like me and him had our issues, and we hashed it out in private in DMs, and I've definitely grown to like Matt Walsh a lot more, especially when we talked in private. And he is who he is. He has his views, but yeah, it was cool to hash things out with him, because I went at him pretty hard on Twitter, like I always do. I was really, really, really sarcastic, and but. Laughing Man says, I'm done platforming Jeremy. Let's see. Matt needs to stay out of entertainment. Yeah, he's not great at it, but he's good. I think he's an overall huge positive to the overall sphere for sure. Absolutely. So, all right. Well, we're going to end it there, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a good stream. It's been a good day of streaming. I really do appreciate it. So, we got Tuesday night's main event tomorrow. I may go live before main event. I don't know yet. No guarantees on that yet, but we have main event tomorrow, and it's going to be a good main event. So I'm looking forward to that. But nearly 2 hour streams today. So 4 hours of CobraCast. Not too bad. So, but I do appreciate you guys. I hope you have a good evening, and we will talk to all of you tomorrow, maybe for CobraCast, but definitely for Tuesday night's main event. Tweet Tone, yeah, I did. I actually have Arc Raiders. I downloaded it. I haven't really tried it out yet, but I do have it. So maybe in the future I'll be playing that with the boys. We'll see. So anyway, you guys have a good night, and we'll talk to all of you later. Bye, everyone.